Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for spending more of your time with me. So today I actually have a requested video for you. In today's video, we are going to talk about online plant shops for me across Canada that I order my plants from. It's been a long time since I've ordered from some of these shops, and I will tell you why as we go along. So I think what I will do is I will start with the shops that are local to me here in British Columbia where I live, that I order from, and then we'll move kind of across Canada to other shops that I have ordered from. I don't know if we want to include, I won't include like Etsy sellers or anything like that, because that is an entirely different ball of wax. So we're gonna go back to 2019, which was the first time I ever ordered a plant online. I had normally gone to either garden centers or big box stores in order to get my plants. Because my youngest daughter worked at a garden center for years, so I would go get my plants from there. But at the end of 2019, I decided that I was going to try online ordering for the first time. And to do something like that in November was not exactly the brightest idea, but it was still open for shipping to me at the time, so that is what I did. The first online store that I ordered from was Wildwood Outdoor Living. So this store primarily specializes in outdoor plants, decorating your outdoor space, but they do have a lot of indoor plants as well that you could order and get shipped to you. So this store is on Vancouver Island, so it does take maybe 2 to 3 days to get to me from there. But the website was very easy to use. The only thing that I would pay attention to when using their website is that they sort of have their main website, and then you would have to actually select their online shopping or their online store in order to buy your houseplants to get shipped to you. It was very cute. I think I ordered my first order, I ordered 7 because the plants were very reasonably priced and most of them were pretty common. I believe that I had ordered a neon pothos, there was a peperomia. There was a few different plants. My first snake plant I also ordered from there, my tiger tooth philodendron. Now the thing with that though is I probably overall, and I'll put the number on the screen somewhere, overall I probably ordered 10-11 plants from them, and currently I only have 1 that has survived. All the rest have unfortunately died. Some of them kind of made sense for me, like peperomias. I'm not good with peperomias. I have 2 in my collection that I have my fingers crossed all the time are gonna survive. Let's see, I had ordered a pilea as well from them, 2, a bronze and a green. They died really quickly. The green one got spider mites and was just died. That was just what happened there. Every other plant that I've gotten from there no longer exists for me. That is not a them thing. I'm pretty sure it's a me thing. The only problem that I had was I did get an Adansonii narrow form. It is the only place I've been able to find a narrow form Adansonii. And that one came to me with mealybugs. It wasn't a big infestation or anything like that. There was 1 or 2. I got rid of them. And it was fine, and the plant survived for a while, and I don't know what happened there. It just kind of shriveled up and died. I don't know what I did to it. I don't think it was a watering issue because it was being watered the same way every time, but that one unfortunately died. And again, I can't find a narrow form Adansonii anywhere else. Not that I've tried very hard to look for one either, but I think that's pretty much it for Wildwood. They do stop shipping at the end of the fall. They do use regular mail. They don't send anything by courier. So you need to be prepared for that if you do order from them. If you're on the island, it is more beneficial to you to actually go into the store if you're near it, and get it from there. And possibly even if you get things shipped, being on the island, it'll probably get to you faster. So that is Wildwood Outdoor Living. The next shop that I ordered from is currently one of my favorites. I have a lot of uncommon plants from there, and that's why this store is one of my favorites. So the next store is North Shore Tropicals. North Shore Tropicals has fluctuated a little bit between sending their plants regular mail or sending them via courier. I know that over the course of the pandemic, they were sending things by courier, I guess because there was shipping delays when it came to sending anything by Canada Post. It took forever to get to you. But North Shore is one of my favorite places to get plants. They are always in good condition. I have had a couple of mishaps with a couple of the plants, but Lauren communicates really well. If you watched my last video, you would have seen that she replaced a plant for me that had gotten to me in not the best condition. And she reached out to me. I had nothing to do with contacting her. And I find that kind of customer service something that you don't find a lot of places. My plants from them, they always come really well shipped. I've watched their shipping materials and everything progress over the past few years, and I get everything really, really well, and almost everything I've gotten from them has survived. The ones that didn't, again, was a me thing. So with that, the plants that I got from North Shore Tropicals, I had gotten my first online uncommon Hoya from there as well. And that made me branch out into looking for more Hoyas. And the one thing that I noticed is that when you get on that Hoya train, you can go full bore for a while. And some people pick it up and keep the Hoya habit, and they try to collect more Hoyas. There are so many to collect. After that, I did start looking for more Hoyas. At the time, North Shore did not have quite the selection of Hoyas that they do now. But I do have to say that my Bangpla 3-spotted leaves is probably my favorite Hoya, and I got it from North Shore Tropicals, and that plant does not disappoint me any day. Currently now it's February, and she's got 2 peduncles that are ready to bloom. I mean, what else could you ask for? My Hoya Sweet Scent as well, that I also got from North Shore, is also about to bloom. So again, they do not disappoint. But I don't think that I'm not that invested into Hoyas in order to bring a ton of them into my home. But if I was going to suggest some place to buy them from locally, if you're here in British Columbia or, you know, the lower mainland where I am, North Shore Tropicals is definitely the place to go for that. And then because of the Hoyas, I had actually found another online shop on Vancouver Island called Brad's Greenhouse. Brad's Greenhouse specializes mostly in carnivorous plants. They have got a really large selection of them. They have got starter kits. They have got just everything that you could possibly need for your carnivorous plants. But at the same time, they have got a large selection of Hoyas. So there were a few Hoyas I got from them. At the time, I was probably paying about $30 for 2-leaf cuttings, which typically isn't bad depending on the Hoya that you're looking for. The only thing that I would say is that they do have a large selection of Hoyas. My problem with going to their website to look for their Hoyas is that the ones that I'm looking for are just never in stock. They do have a list of the Hoyas that they cultivate, and they will let you know if they're in stock or not. And that's the only thing, is that whenever I'm looking for a Hoya that they've got on their site and I'm waiting for it to come back into stock, I don't know if I just miss it, or they don't have very many and they go really quickly, or if they're just not cultivating that one at that particular point in time. I did get a couple of Hoyas from them that were more uncommon for me and for anybody. I've got Hoyas from them that I don't even think I've seen anybody else with. I'll have to do a video about that as well and show you updates of my Hoya collection and stuff like that and where they're from. But I did order from them twice. I think I ordered in the spring or summer, because they do shut down for shipping over the fall and winter. Unlike North Shore Tropicals, North Shore does not shut down for the season. At least they don't locally. I don't know about how they are with shipping across the country, but locally they ship year round. Their restocks go really quickly too. I'm kind of jumping around here, but it's one of those things where one thought kind of cascades you into another. Back to Brad's Greenhouse. They also have a YouTube channel. So if you want to know anything about carnivorous plants and their Hoyas, they do have a YouTube channel, which I will link down below. I will also link the websites for the stores that I'm talking about as well. But I never actually had to communicate with Brad's greenhouse, but I do still have all of the Hoyas that I got from them. They are all in good condition. I got everything in perfect condition and I had absolutely no issues with them whatsoever. Brad's greenhouse cascaded me into a shop that is now currently closed, which was TG Orchids. TG Orchids was someplace that I was actually getting my cane begonias from. They were a cute little shop. Their prices were really, really decent. They did not only have begonias, but they also had philodendrons of different kinds and varieties, ones that you wouldn't actually see at those prices anywhere else. But in most cases, I had already collected those ones, so I was looking more towards the cane begonias when I started getting into those begonias. I do still currently have the begonias that I have ordered from them. A few of them are struggling, but I'm also new to cane begonias. It's kind of a learning curve. So now though, as of last fall, TG Orchids has closed. And it's unfortunate because there was a few begonias that I had debated about ordering and I never did it, and now I'm kind of sad about it. There is Plantsom. Plantsom, I actually won a contest, which was the first plant contest I ever won, and I was so surprised and so extremely happy about it. They are the cutest little thing. If you look on Plantsom's website, but all of their plants have names, or the genus, the specific type of plants. They all have names. I ended up, I believe I got a philodendron silver sword. I can't remember what the other plant was. I've ordered from them a couple of times, and their prices here in Vancouver are definitely the lowest and most decent that I have ever seen. I think I got my philodendron silver sword, which was a decent size, for like $14. And at that point in time, for a silver sword, that was completely unheard of. I got my Hoya Curtisii for, again, around $14. I had won $50 to spend with them, and I got 2 plants. At that point, I got 2 plants. The $50 also covered the shipping, and then the next order that I made, I used what was left over from the coupon code and got more plants. I love their packaging. They have their own little van that they deliver their plants in. Like, they deliver them themselves. They were absolutely great. The communication was great. I love their website. The only thing that I would say is to pay attention to your sizes and if the plant is coming with or without a pot, because you can actually order the plant with a pot. And I don't just mean a nursery pot, like the nursery pot will come along with it, but you can get a decorative pot along with it. In some cases, it's better to search for the specific plant that you're looking for, just because they have when you're scrolling through their website, everything is small, medium, and large. So you're gonna find the same plant in different sizes, but it makes the scrolling kind of tedious when you're going through it. So I would suggest searching for a specific plant if you're looking for something in particular. But they do have a lot of common plants as well that are not very expensive, and they're just, I can't say enough about them. So I would say for me, my 2 go-to local plant shops that I would order from would be North Shore Tropicals and Plantsom. I think that is it for the ones that are local to me. So that takes us, now we're starting to move across the country. The next stop, have I ordered anything from Alberta? No. Saskatchewan? Yes. In Saskatchewan, I have ordered from the Little Big Plant Company. They actually have 2 stores, one in Regina and one in Saskatoon. I can't tell you offhand which one it was that I ordered from. I did order from them just once. I believe it was a Hoya Australis rupicola and another Hoya Australis. Their shipping was really good as well. The plants came to me just fine. I had no problems with it. I think the hardest part for me when it came to dealing with them was just the fact that they do have the 2 websites, and because I was shipping to British Columbia, I would look through both websites to see what they had. And in some cases, I would find a plant on one that wasn't on the other. And I didn't really do a deep dive into if it was possible to get them both, like to have one store send it to the other store to send it to me. I don't know how that worked. I didn't go that far, but they also had pretty decent prices. They were a little bit higher no matter where they're coming from. I need to be able to justify the cost of my shipping. So I can't just order one plant. Like I can't order a $30 plant and pay $30 shipping. So I would rather spend $60 on 2 plants, if just for an example, and pay $30 shipping for both of those plants. Their prices were actually pretty decent for the Hoyas, and they do have a really good selection of plants and plants that I am not used to seeing. The only other thing I could say about their website is when you do go to the website, they've got different links for your plants. They've got tropicals, they've got exotics, they've got pretty much plants that need love, stuff like that. And I did have a little bit of trouble when it came to classify what they classified as being exotic and what they classified as being tropical, because in some cases there were plants in both categories, but then in others you just need to do a very thorough look through of the website if that's what you're going to do. But as I said, because they have 2 stores, I was spending a lot of time cycling between the 2. Besides that, I had a really good experience with them. So with the Little Big Plant Company, I've got nothing bad to say about them. I had no issues with it did take a little longer for the plants to get to me. There wasn't a problem with that at all. So there was no issues with receiving them. I haven't received or gotten anything else from them, so I couldn't really tell you how their thinner leaved or philodendrons, monsteras, anything like that really ship. Okay, so that is Saskatchewan. We are into Ontario. So for Ontario, Tails and Scales. It's actually a pet store for anything reptilian, but they also carry houseplants. Now, I have received a few plants from this store. Almost all of them shipped really well. It was probably the store that I had the most problems with. Communication was not good. If I had any issues with the plants, it was not addressed. I had gotten a philodendron Bloody Mary from them, and it was pretty much during a heat wave, not as bad as last year's, but it was hot. They did not send me any tracking information. I was not told when my item was going to ship. I was not told that my item had shipped, and it spent 18 days in a metal mailbox. 18 days. But it survived. I mean, it's dead now, but it had survived at that point in time. I had rehabbed it, everything was fine. And actually, it kind of just died a few weeks ago, which was really sad. But the other issue that I had with them is misidentifying plants. I know sometimes it's hard to make those IDs, but when I see it on something that is so simple to ID and they have labeled it something completely different, there's a problem there. What did I get from there? There was a couple of things I got from there. My Hoya Crimson Queen, which is one of my favorite plants, I do have to say. My Hoya Crimson Queen, which is growing absolutely beautifully, on their website was labeled as a Crimson King. Now, I don't know if a Crimson King actually exists. I did try to find it and I couldn't. For me, that would be a mis-ID. Something else that I got from there that was mis-ID'd was, I don't even remember what it was I was trying to order, but when I got it, it was actually a philodendron black cardinal, which was fine with me because I really do love black cardinals. But I was trying to order something else at the time. I think it was actually labeled as a philodendron red, and I thought it was an imperial red, but it wasn't, it was a black cardinal. But I did also get a Rojo Congo from them, which is just absolutely phenomenal, and I love him so much. But I do have to say that that is probably the store that I had the most issues with. And I ordered from them frequently. So after we had the problem with my plant being stuck in the mail, or being stuck in the mailbox for like 18 days because I didn't know it was there. And we actually, I know you're sitting there thinking, well, didn't you check your mailbox in that past 18 days? Here's the thing. If you're getting something that is bigger than your mailbox, it ends up going into a bigger mailbox for packages. And what they do is they leave the key in your mailbox for you to open the other mailbox. The problem with that is that the lock on that mailbox didn't work. So I don't know whether it was between me or my roommate, and I don't know whatever happened with that, if Canada Post took the key back because we hadn't, checked it or whatever. Anyway, I didn't know it was there. Canada Post never let me know it was there, and the shop never let me know it was there either. But after that incident, they started using FedEx, which was great because after that I did get more plants from them via FedEx and it worked out really, really well. Unfortunately though, with the mis-IDing of plants, I did decide to stop ordering from them because for me it was just too much of a hassle to make sure that I was actually going to get what it was I was looking for, or I would be looking on the site and I would see things that were mis-ID'd and it just lowered my faith in them tremendously when it came to that. But as for besides that, I mean, getting the plants in good condition when I knew that they were coming, that was all fine, but their communication was definitely lacking. Okay, that takes me over into Montreal. One of my favorite plants to shop from in Montreal is riam. In the beginning, there was a few issues with plants. My plants were coming in sphagnum moss, which was fine, but the moss would be so wet that rehabbing the plants afterwards just took a much longer period of time to do. I would get them, they would be sopping wet. You can't really squeeze out them. I didn't want to squeeze out the moss because I didn't want to break the roots. I didn't want to pull the moss off because I figured that the plant was already in enough distress. So I do understand that they sent them like that because you never knew how long that they were going to be in the mail. Probably just trying to keep them in the best condition possible. I completely get that. But I was very disappointed a couple of times when I would find root rot on them because they were just so saturated. But I do have to say that almost all of them have survived. I couldn't tell you offhand which ones right now, off the top of my head, didn't make it. Oh, one of them was the first anthurium that I ever bought, which was my anthurium pedatum. But that could have just been a me thing because my anthurium game is weak. Like, so weak. I would love to buy anthuriums, but I will probably kill them, so I haven't taken that step yet. Since then though, we have had the best communication. I can send them an email, I get a response within a couple of days, which is fine by me. I know that, you know, people are busy and they can't reply right away. That's fine, I totally get that. So I did talk to them. I've had nothing but good experiences since then, and they actually even sent me a gift plant, which for me was just completely amazing considering it's an unknown type of peperomia and I haven't killed it yet. It's still alive. Not only is it alive, it is thriving. Thriving. For me to have a peperomia that thrives, and I've had it almost a year, is amazing. Like that's just completely amazing to me. One of my other favorite plants that I did get from there is my baby gloriosum. We did have some trouble. That was also one of the ones that just came in sopping wet. We had to do like some serious rehab. I'm talking like 9 months of trying to make this plant grow with very little hope because it was such a small, tiny little piece of the stolen, and it has come back. Like I'm going to show it to you right now because it's right here. So here she is now. She's been getting bigger. This is currently her biggest leaf, and she does have a new growth point in there, and she's gonna give me another one. So I'm super excited about that. Anyway, we are gonna wrap this up real quick. Riam is probably the other place that I love, and one of the reasons why I love them is that they give you points based on how much you spend. So if you rack up these points, and I have gotten more than one plant for free doing this. They have got like a VIP tier list, and all you really have to do is sign up and you will be kind of given this VIP status. You can collect points, and then there's different levels of rewards that you can use your points for. You can use them for $10 off a plant, you can use them for $50 off plants, you can use them for 10%, 50% off. You can use these however you want to on their site. They do have a large selection of anthuriums, and they do have a nice, not so much right now, but they do have a nice collection of philodendrons. The one thing that I don't see on there very much is monsteras. They do have a separate category. They've got their anthuriums on the site. They've got monsteras. They've got other tropicals. They've got their philodendrons. One of the things that I like, and one day I'm actually going to utilize, is that they have anthurium packs. It's kind of, sometimes it's a little bit of a variety pack. Like you'll get 2 different anthuriums and a philodendron for $300, I believe. I think they're all genuinely $300, and you will get 3 plants in that pack. Because I can't grow anthuriums, I have never taken them up on that, but I would really love to do that at some point, because it is something I'm interested in, is just how that process works, and if I can grow the anthuriums and stuff like that. Their prices are pretty mainstream. I would kind of put them on par with North Shore Tropicals here for me. Although North Shore does have quite a few plants that are in a much more decent price range, so I can say that. Riam tends to be pretty pricey, but if you are collecting the points and you can take money off your order, how can you go wrong? Those are all the plant stores that I have ordered from across Canada. I would love to be able to order from some stores in the States, but I would have to look into getting an import permit and all of that first, which I've kind of loosely looked into, but because I've slowed down what I'm buying, I have not taken that step. But it is something that I would like to do this spring, because there are shops in the US that I would love to order from and then check and see how they ship to Canada, how long it takes, what condition they come in, all of that. So that is something that I will do in the future. But for now, I think that is pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else I can say. If you liked this video, please click that little like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope you are all safe and well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.